Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And thanks so much for the few Patreons that I do have that help support this channel. And if you become a Patreon, you have access to exclusive Patreon reviews. I think we're up to about 35 reviews in the archives, and I try to do 1 or 2 a month. So check that out. Today we're going to be reviewing Balblair 15-year-old. About a month ago, I reviewed the Balblair 12-year-old. So it's not going to be a huge comparison and contrast, but I'm going to be referring to the Balblair 12 occasionally throughout this review. You can see big color difference. And basically, the Balblair 12-year-old is made up of ex-bourbon and recharred barrels, but all ex-bourbon. Whereas the Balblair 15-year-old, it's a little vague, but this is what they say. I couldn't find any more information on this. Matured initially in American oak ex-bourbon casks, followed by the rich influence of first fill Spanish oak butts. So, I don't know if those Spanish oak butts were what kind of sherry it was. I have no idea. My guess, maybe a combination of some Oloroso and possibly a little PX, but I'm not sure. They both come in at 46% ABV, both non-chill filtered, no coloring added. The price on the Balblair 12-year-old, you can find it still $60 to $65 range, maybe as high as $70, whereas the Balblair 15-year-old is much more money. It runs between $115 and $120, possibly $125, but right around $120. So it's not quite double the price of the 12, but it's almost there. I was able to pick this one up, the 15-year-old, recently on sale for $90, which is why I pulled the trigger on it. After reviewing the Balblair 12, so many people were asking me to review this Balblair 15, so I saw it on sale, and I'm like, you know what, that's a fair price. I've seen it on the shelves for $115, $120, and that was a little bit out of my comfort range. The Highland Park 15-year-old retails for about $105, $110. Old Pulteney 15, I believe, is probably at least $120, maybe even a little bit more. So I guess the Balblair is in good company price-wise, but I just wanted to acknowledge that. Balblair touts themselves as being the oldest working distillery in the Highlands since 1790. Okay, and the cool thing about Balblair is everything is matured in old-fashioned, traditional dunnage warehouses. Okay, which is pretty cool. I think we covered all the basics. Let's get into the review, shall we? So, on the nose, as soon as you open this up and pour it in the glass, grape Kool-Aid, strawberry or cherry jello, a little bit of leather in there, lemon peel. And lemon peel and lemon and citrus are prevalent in the 12-year-old as well. I think that's part of their house-style distillate. Definitely some honey in there as well. But very Kool-Aid, jello, fruity, grapey nose. That's the most prominent. And the longer you can let this set out and oxidize in the glass, the better experience you will have with this. It's fine as a pour and play as well. And also too, this Balblair 15, I think it could even be a beginner whiskey, and here's why. We're going to go to the palate. So everything on the nose translates to the palate, but it's very soft, um, very soft and gentle. There's a slight sweetness there, which makes me think that there's maybe a little bit of PX in there, or a Fino, or some kind of sweeter wine than Oloroso. Maybe if there's such a thing as wine gums. So you can kind of tell that this is kind of like a wine finished second maturation, kind of an offering. By no means is it a sherry bomb. Yeah, finish is medium long, but it's even they use the word mellow. They call it a long finish. I'll say it's a medium long finish, but it's a mellow finish, and it transitions to a bit of a pleasing astringency, or dry, not really a dryness, more of a bitter astringency, just a little bit. But that sweetness, that subtle sweetness, still lingers as well. Very, very well done. But I would describe it as a softer, gentle, gentleman's offering. Just as a general observation from my experience, especially when you get into the 18-year-old, 21-year-olds, I realize they bottle this at 46% ABV. And not all the time, but I find generally with some of the older offerings that maybe the older they get, they should up the ABV just a little bit, maybe even a percentage or two, make this 48%, maybe 50, but because it is a soft, delicate thing. So comparing it to the butterscotch vanilla ex-bourbon over here, the Balblair 12-year-old is, it has a little bit of softness, a little bit of mellowness to it as well, but it's more robust than the 15-year-old. Check out my review about a month ago that I did on it. I scored the Balblair 12 an 8 out of 10. So I really like it, especially for the price. And I'm going to score, it's apples and oranges, but I'm going to score the Balblair 15-year-old an 8 out of 10 as well, although the caveat is I think I prefer the more distillate traditional offering of the Balblair 12-year-old. But anybody that likes a wine influence, second maturation, if you like a lot of the Glenmorangie type offerings that do that second wine maturation, I think you would like this. All day long, I think if you can find it for $90, which good luck, I think it's worth that. But $115, $120 for me, I'd rather get 2 of the Balblair 12-year-olds. That's just me. I do like it, the 15-year-old. I do appreciate it. It's something different for sure, and I think most people would find it enjoyable. Okay, so I think that sums it up. Gives you a kind of good overview for what's going on here, and I don't really think there's anything I can add. Yeah, remember, folks, it's just whiskey. So hats off to you all, and take care, folks.